Jeff Garcia joins us on Sports Byline. 17 professional seasons, but his first in the United Football League. He's playing with Omaha, the Nighthawks. And, Jeff, you remind me of the Godfather movie, that great line in which the Godfather says, "Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in."
Yeah, that sounds a little bit familiar. It's never been necessarily me that has wanted to be out, but unfortunately, sometimes that's how it works out. And I wasn't getting that opportunity to return back to the NFL, and all of a sudden the UFL presented their opportunity, and it was one of those things. Do I sit around and wait and see if an NFL team has interest after the first couple weeks of the season based upon things happening in the league, or do I just make my own decision right now and go and play some football? And it's a game that I love, and it's not about the business. Sometimes the business side of things actually makes me not like the game as much, but the playing, the actual being on the field and being a part of a team and an organization and having a chance to compete, that's what I love about the game. And that's what this has given me the opportunity to do. And I'm just excited to be able to be here in Omaha. And we just had our first game last weekend. It was a thriller, and I'm having a great time. That's really what counts, and what's most important to me right now is I'm having fun playing the game.
I might point out to people, it was a very interesting week for Jeff Garcia. They opened their season, and they made their UFL debut in Omaha, and Jeff drove his new team down the field in just 2 minutes, 37 seconds. His 12-yard touchdown pass to Robert Ferguson with just 6 seconds left in regulation sent everybody home happy. But also, you were pretty happy last week on the personal level. Tell everybody what else you had to deal with.
Well, I had a baby boy on Tuesday of last week, so I was doing a Midwest to West Coast flight pattern throughout the week. I must have made the trip about 3 or 4 times just to make sure I was there for the birth of my son, and that was a successful thing. My wife was awesome, and we had our third little child and second little boy, and he's healthy. He's doing great. And then I got back on a plane and flew back out to Omaha and played a game on Friday night, and that went down to the wire and pulled out a win. And there was a lot of smiling going on last week. And yeah, there were some tight times and some nervous times, but everything ended up on the positive side.
Yeah, it was a sellout crowd, by the way, 23,000 people in Omaha. But it also brings up a very interesting point. I think most people do not see athletes in terms of being human beings all the time that have to deal with real-life situations. But on a professional athlete level, Jeff, how hard is it for you or any athlete when they're dealing with something, not, this is a joyous situation, but even if it's a traumatic situation, to departmentalize their professional focus and also their personal focus?
It's definitely not an easy thing to do, and to consider that I had one thing happening in California and another thing happening in Nebraska definitely didn't make it an easy thing to do. And obviously, my family is first and foremost for me, and the most important thing for me was to be there for the birth of my son and to be a part of that whole experience and to be there to support my wife and all those things. But I also knew on the backup side, I had an obligation to a team also, and so to balance those two acts was definitely stressful at times and a little bit straining. But I'm just so fortunate that obviously I had the support of my wife to be able to come out here and be a part of this whole experience and to play this game, and to also have the support of my teammates and my coaching staff to allow me to go back and forth and to adjust schedules and to do some certain things that would allow me to at least not miss too many practice days. And fortunately, I was only able to miss one practice day. I got to the rest of the week, and as much as I was jet lagged at times, come Friday with the lights on and the excitement in the crowd, I had enough adrenaline to pull through.
You have a matchup this weekend. It's going to be in Sacramento against that team, and Dante Culpepper is the quarterback there. He, like you, threw a touchdown pass with just 31 seconds that led his team to victory. A lot of people don't know too much about the United Football League, but do you have to make any adjustments within yourself in dealing with the players at this level? It's not NFL caliber. It is professional football caliber. But do you have to make any adjustments in working with your teammates and doing some of the things that maybe is a little bit different at this level of competition?
I think the adjustments come from the standpoint of I'm probably doing more coaching at this point in my career in this situation than I ever have before. We don't have an off season to go through OTAs and mini camps. We didn't have preseason games to work out some of the kinks. It's kind of like we're coming together on the run. And we've had 4 weeks, basically, of working together, an entirely new team coming together to try to get all on the same page. And so what happens oftentimes, especially with the limited number of coaches that we have on the staff and the limited number of time and reps that we've had together, I find myself doing a lot of talking and coaching with the players as far as trying to just be on the same page, especially at the quarterback position, as important as that is to be able to communicate with your receivers, with your tight ends, with your running backs, even with your offensive line, and know that you're together with what you're trying to accomplish. It's so important because of the game and the trust that's involved in the game to be able to do those things. And so I think that's probably the biggest difference for me, is that I'm having to maybe wear a couple different hats within the team, and I enjoy it. I definitely like that. I think it creates a very open line of communication amongst all the players, and I think they appreciate it because they know that I'm coming from a place where I have a lot of experience in my past, and I feel like I have a way of working with guys where it's not a sense of demeaning anybody or trying to tell somebody how they're supposed to do it. It's just communicating in the way that will help them respond in a positive way and get us all working on the same page so that we can have success come game time.
And, of course, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, since your dad was a coach, too, at the high school level. And I'm just wondering, you grew up in a small town like Gilroy, played your ball there before you went on to San Jose State. And when you take a look at where you're playing in Omaha, Nebraska, is it kind of a throwback for you? Does it feel like that?
There are a lot of similarities to what I grew up around, and even just with the way things are handled with the team, as much as they're trying to do things as professional as possible, we do have minor setbacks or minor details that have to be adjusted to every single day. I mean, it's one of those things where right now we don't have a practice field that we can call our home. So we're on a school bus on a daily basis traveling around the city to find a place to practice. But you know what? Guys aren't complaining about it. Guys aren't griping or creating a negative attitude or a negative response. I think because of the reality of the situation, everybody here is appreciative of the opportunity to continue to play the game. And it's given the guys a second life in that sort of way, or a second chance. And that's why we're all here, and we're enjoying it. And it is somewhat of a throwback to our high school days, to our Pop Warner days. Being in a town like Omaha reminds me of a small town like Gilroy in a lot of ways. People are friendly. People are excited about the team. They've embraced us. It's created a lot of good energy. And as far as the adjustments that we have to make as a team on a daily basis, we just do it. We just go with the flow. It is what it is, and we make it happen. This league, this team, it will weed out the prima donnas, that's for sure. And nobody likes to have those type of guys on a team anyways.
We got about 45 seconds left. Do you see yourself becoming a coach at some point, Jeff?
It's a possibility. I know that it would be a natural transition, but I do want to be involved in the game in some way. I don't know if it's going to be on the broadcasting side or on the management side or in the coaching profession, but I want to be involved. At some point, I'm going to have to make that move, and until I'm ready, until these legs won't move for me any longer, this arm won't do what I want it to do, I'm going to try to make the most of these opportunities here over the next year or two.
Well, as I said before, you and I have been friends for a long time, and we will always be friends, even when you take off that uniform for the last time. Thank you very much. Good luck in the game this week against Sacramento. Thanks a lot, Jeff, for the time.
Thanks, Ron. Always a pleasure. You take care.
Jeff Garcia with us. Jeff, of course, now playing in the United Football League with the Omaha Nighthawks, and what an opening game he had last Friday night when he took his team right down the field in 2 minutes and 37 seconds and hit the game-winning touchdown pass to Robert Ferguson with just 6 seconds left. I've known Jeff since he broke into the National Football League, and that was with the San Francisco 49ers. Quite a quality young man. We continue on Sports Byline.